No, not another episode of Bucky Rogers and the War Against Entropy. Anyway, alright. Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings Here, as opposed to where you are. Yeah, here, there's a brain. That's really all it is. It's just brain communicating with brains. Attempting to persuade them that there is a reality and that we can actually, qualify it and describe it accurately rather than inaccurately. Alright, anyway. It's just so bad. So, just the one video this week. Sorry, I really should have got this over with. And there's one more to go eventually. I'll shove it somewhere. So... and then we'll move on to find other things that might be stimulus and might contribute to a rational conversation about, actual reality, rather than wasting time, frankly, arguing with people who have just made up a silly story about how the universe is made out of whatever, bubble yum, and it really isn't. So anyway, it's getting tedious and tiresome, but I will endeavor to persevere and fight through that sensation that just drives me to say, God damn it, I gotta get out of here. Anyway, so we'll play through some of this mush. Try to just do things that can help. Don't do things that risk making it worse. So I started the video by just pointing out that all we're really trying to do is this efficiency thing, right? And part of the efficiency is sort of understanding you really don't want to make things worse. So if you're planning to make a nuclear power plant, you really have to be focused on let's not have a catastrophe. So that has to be part of your planning, is to prevent catastrophe. And then you can start worrying about, tweaking it to be, get more miles per gallon, so to speak. But you got to avoid the catastrophe. That's the thing you really have to be on the lookout for. And in the case of procreation, obviously, there's no insurance against the catastrophe. The catastrophe can't be cleaned up. There's no I undid it with my magical I did it over again. So I had a kid and gave it cancer and killed it. And then I'll undo it by having another kid who won't have cancer. And that'll undo the one that did have cancer. No, that doesn't work.
Cultivatable.
That seems too loud. So I'm just going to assume it's too loud and to make it a little less loud. Hope that works. Yeah, we'll see.
And if anything, doing it on another planet actually...
doing it on another planet. So Bucky Rogers is going to go do it on another planet. Yeah, sure he is. Yeah, I wonder if he's done it on this planet. Oh, it's just, the imagination. You really don't even want to. Oh, I don't even want to imagine that. Ooh, oops, brain, stop doing that. That's not what I want to see. Thank you. All right. So anyway, I don't know, doing what on another planet? Watching really cool. Oh, I saw some anime yesterday. It was the greatest anime ever. It was just so cool. It was little. And there was other little thing, and there was all this little blip, blip, and it was all purple and blue and green. Yeah. Must have been very exciting for you. I'll jump ahead. What do I do? I'll torture some animals. Oh, I was talking about God. Yeah, God sat around for trillions and trillions of years and just sat around saying, oh, gee, nothing to do. Oh, what will I do? What's a great idea? I'll make feeling things and then torture most of them to death. And I'll disable them, and I'll make other things like maggots will eat inside of them and eat their brains slowly. It'll be so cool. I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be so much fun to torture all the little animals. What? There's nothing to say. Why do our people in love with that philosophy?
One, because obviously we know that we will be imposing suffering on a new person that we create. when we know that.
All right, so the whole point of knowing anything, the whole point is that the only people procreating are imbeciles. They don't know anything. They don't think about anything. Having kids is like throwing garbage out their window. It's just an instinct. They just, no problem. I don't have a muffler on my car. So fucking what? What, am I gonna wake somebody up? What do I care? I mean, just there's no point in talking about people's intent when having kids, because the people having kids don't have anything called a rational purpose. They haven't thought about it at all.
True, but they could have adopted 4, right?
Oh, so, it was bad enough. He was raised by the monkeys that actually adopted, had 2 kids, 2 sons, and then adopted 3 other things of unknown nature. But the adopted ones were probably fostered first because they fostered 20. So what do you call that? I mean, that's just a business, right? So it really was just a kid farm, They were just kid farming. You get paid by the government, nice little hunk of money, and maybe a few of them were broken in some way, and you get extra money. So, yeah, that's really kind of just a grotesque and ugly racket. Oh, brother, why? What the fuck? And again, what's the byproduct? Yeah. So, and it worked out so well because we got Bucky Rogers here as the icon for. This is how to do it right. Create a delusional kook on the internet. Oh, fuck. No, that's not doing it right. Be fair.
And almost twisted justification to say to someone, especially if they may be in a situation themselves where they are suffering a lot. Like if you had,
Oh, he's just too boring. Anyway, no, I'm just being. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, they don't think about their kids dying. They don't think about their kids failing. They don't think about any of this crap. They just imagine that it's going to be cute and fun, and it's going to have such a wonderful personality, and it's just going to love me to pieces, and everything's going to be so wonderful, and I'll get little hugs and no, it's not going to go out and get drunk at 15 and crash its car into a tree and paralyze the girl in the passenger seat. That's not going to happen. No, the little fable is going to happen. Have children because they get hard penises. Oops. I can't say that on the internet. Oof. Wee. Whoa, 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 whoa. So they were making, Bucky was talking about, animals are having babies on purpose, So I had to point out again that no, they're not having babies on purpose. They're doing something entirely different. They're not really doing that I'm making babies thing. They're doing something else. Something else is rolling through their brain than, oh, I can't wait to see what the kittens look like. No, that's not what they're thinking.
Well, because I would be having a child because
yeah, because that's the thing to do, right? What else do you do? Is it'd be silly to prevent having a kid because, gee, what's that would just be totally unnatural. And then he complains about people who do the natural thing, and are trying to win the race war. He complains that they're playing the DNA wrong, when that's exactly what the DNA is basically saying you're supposed to be doing, is create as many warriors as possible and equip them well and defeat the enemy. Which in the case of, human against human is the other human. And you can call the other human Mr. Entropy, and that'll make it easier to slaughter them. Just say they're Entropyites. Yeah, let's go fight the Entropyites. Just too stupid. Doing. So you're all a bunch of sinners by the Old Testament standards, okay? Because they fucked it all up. Yeah. And so then Jesus came and saved the day with do unto others as you have others do unto you, and then we're all done with this bullshit, right? This ain't more complicated than that. Don't fuck other people. They won't have to fuck you, blah, 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 blah. Live by the sword, die by the sword, live by the handshake, everything's okay. Yeah. Everything's just fine. Oh. The whole point of the Messiah is to correct the errors. Yeah, so this is a Christian. I have to explain to him the whole point of the Messiah. Oh, it's just so funny. Yeah. It really is just so funny. So what is this bullshit? Basically, women were consigned to this role. Right. So this is, again, he's complaining about the people who wish to take the Bible literally and do what it literally kind of suggests. And no, that's the wrong philosophy. So again, yeah, it's just too stupid. Read the instruction manual, but read it upside down. That's the trick, okay? You don't read it right side. Read it upside down so you can really know what it's saying. And then play it backwards. Flip the pages backwards. Read the last page first and then flip through it. Yes, that's the correct way to read the Bible. Upside down and backwards. And then you'll get the true message. Conceptual words is what makes the difference. So then he was talking about how animals are dumb. Well, yes, of course, they're a little bit undereducated. And that's just because they have a language difficulty, in the sense their brain doesn't do our vocalizations the same way, and it doesn't interpret them. It can't make a language, and without a language, you're fucked. So I go through that whole explanation. But it's falling on deaf brain, These are words that won't mean anything to an anti-entropyist.
I think that everything that makes heaven good and everything that makes hell bad is already existent in some way.
Oh, whatever. So he's saying the hell is on earth, but that's really not what the story says, so the whole thing doesn't make any sense, really. And regardless, so the religion is you have a soul. The soul doesn't live forever. It doesn't go anywhere. It serves functionally no purpose whatsoever. So that's the religion. The Christian religion is you have a soul, but it's totally irrelevant because it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, got it. Jesus will just come here, give you eternal life, and you will, plant potatoes forever. How ludicrous can you get, right? So I don't even know what... So obviously we have to throw the nihilist back in here, because it doesn't really matter. Pain and suffering is the same as happiness. It's just brain electricity. Oh, yeah. So I took a couple of little shots at the mystic there. What the fuck? He's trying to justify that he's actually got a strategy for going to hell and winning. Like somehow the winning strategy is going to hell. Yeah, it's so benign. I mean, hell is just, there's a few more seeds in your apple. So when you buy an apple, there's a little bit more seeds in it. That's hell. Too pathetic. I mean, really, it's just, this is a little bit too, there's more cracks in the sidewalks. Yeah. I can't stand it.
Sure.
Surely the idea was we were going to torture you. That's the idea. Oh, the dog poops are an inch longer. Yeah. Ooh. You're going to get punished harshly for being disobedient. All right, so I'm doing something about religion, blah, blah, blah. So it turned into a religious conversation, unfortunately. And it's not even any kind of real religion. It's whatever Bucky Rogers' interpretation of the Bible. His condensed version. And that's that. That's your ticket out. Just keep a bunch of, Xerox a bunch of copies so you can just... Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's all you have to do. The Christian religion is basically just the I'm sorry. Get out of hell, I'm sorry card. So just make up as many as you possibly can. So, even get it tattooed, I'm sorry, right on your arm. And then you can just rub that in God's face. See, I said I was sorry. Can't blame me, na 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 na. I can't go to prison because I said I was sorry. And I got baptized. Make sure you take a videotape of your baptism, so you can always have that record in case you're ever really stuck to prove it. What if God wants proof? So tired of it. But anyway, must endeavor to persevere. There you go. That's the real theme. It's just the truth is worth fighting for. So fight for it. Yeah, that's it. That's the theme. Even if you can't win, you have to try, right? You can't, the precious is tied on the railroad tracks. The train is coming. You have to try. Even though you're calculating the physics and saying, I can't really go those 48 feet in less than a quarter of a second, and so I really can't get there in time. But who knows? Maybe the train will hiccup or something. The engine that could, maybe the engine that could won't, and therefore you have a chance. So you have to take it. So yes, I'm going to take that chance. I'm going to presume that other brains aren't really broken. They're just dirty. They're just full of dust and filth. And if you blow hard enough, you can maybe knock some of that off, and then the brain can work, and they'll say, oh, okay, yeah, I see, it is pretty simple. First, do no harm. Yeah, I can do that. That's not complicated at all. So anyway. So it's another one of these videos where I'm just responding to inane mush that's uttered by other humans. And you're just like, oh, could you get to the point? Could you get to the real subject somewhere here? Somewhere in this mush? Could you say something real? All right. So anyway, yeah, it seems, I should, 16 minutes. It seems I'm ripping you off. But it's 17 minutes almost, so that'll be okay. 17 minutes sounds so much longer than 16. Right? Yeah, I think so. All right, anyway, I'll try to be more responsible to my obligations. Okay. In my war against stupid. All right. So, till the next time and such and so forth and whatnot. And, yeah, I'll do some more of this, I guess. I don't know what the hell can I do. I mean, I've been over it and over it and over it, Jesus Christ. Yeah. But anyway, that's what you have to do. You really do have to just keep saying it until it sticks in their head. And they say, oh, I'm participating in a multiplayer game that has huge consequences in terms of there will be nails put in eyes or there'll be cupcakes served, and I'm going to be deciding who gets a nail and who gets a cupcake, and I'm going to be part of this whole thing, and it's somehow important? Oh, I had no idea. So that's what you want to have happen in people's brains. They start to figure out that all of this is really very important. Anyway, lots at stake. Billions and billions and billions of lives at stake. Billions of gurneys with lots of torture instruments. Yeah. Lots of shiny scalpels. You can make them into, little plastic toys instead. You can turn it all into just a bad dream. All right, anyway. So, now it's enough. Probably it's enough. Yeah, it's enough. I'm just going to say it's enough. I'm having a problem deciding, I have to say. Today isn't a good day for deciding whether it's enough or not, because, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I'm going to decide. I'm going to say yes, it's enough, merely because I don't have any clue to it not being enough, besides me just having the impression that it's not enough. And that impression is just too ambiguous. So I'm not going to go with it. I'm just going to say it's sort of an erroneous impulse. So I can just dismiss the erroneous impulse and say, oh, that's probably not a great idea. I probably should think about what to do rather than just be impulsive. Okay. So that's what I'll do. I'll go somewhere and think about what to do rather than this. All right, I'm just dragging it out because I wanted to get to 20 minutes. Because 20 minutes sounds like a lot more. Yeah, that's a lot more. Okay, so there I go, 20 minutes. So that's good enough. All right. So, task accomplished. And now we can move on. You can move on. I'll move on. Good thing. So, moving on now.